Me and fiancé. I am in the process of calling a halt to our wedding as she has asked for an open relationship. Alright folks, where to start? This one is tough to type, and the paws are shaking as I'm doing it. As it says in the title, me and my fiancé, ex, are 34 and 27 respectively, have been together for nearly 4 years overall, and are a year engaged. I'll be totally honest here, just before we got engaged, she had an emotional affair with a bloke that she worked with. I only found out because one of her friends' BF contacted me and said that he overheard the friend group discussing it. I confronted her at the time, and after a good bit of arguing and hassle, we came to an agreement to let it go. I'll be totally honest in saying that I'm still slightly in the process of getting over that particular incident, and it discolored my view of her. I manned up, moved on, and proposed, which I had planned on doing anyway. This is just to give an overall context here, and indeed to let it be known that there has been issues in the past. Fast forward to recent time. We are due married in November, traveling abroad for it with family, and back around October, she started acting a bit odd. Distant, not herself, away with the fairies. Even stopped having sex, which was very strange. I put it down to stress around organizing the wedding, and the fact that we had moved flat. Forward to Christmas time, and now things are coming to a head. I confronted her straight up, and she said out that she was sorry, has just been stressed. I was very considerate, and tried to help her through it. However, it basically continued on ebbing and flowing throughout the next 2 months, up to yesterday. I arrived in from work last night, and she says that she wants to talk. The vibe was bad, guys, I could tell. We sat down, and she said out that she had been reading, and that she wasn't having second thoughts about the marriage, but the nature of our relationship. At this rate, I was getting a bit agitated, and demanded that she come out with what the bloody hell she meant. Basically, a few of her friends had back in October, the times matched up, conveyed to her the idea of an open relationship. Basically, they stay with their blokes and have one-night stands on nights out if they fancy. I'll be honest, the idea made me ill. I said this to her, and she asked to be heard out. Pulled out some online blog post by a blogger who had a husband and live-in boyfriend. I got halfway through and told her enough of this nonsense. I wouldn't consider myself old-fashioned, but a wife or fiancé bonking other men will never be in fashion, not in my world anyway. We got into a fight, and in the end she was begging me to give it a chance and that nothing is set in stone. I basically said that I needed some headspace and that I'd spend the weekend at my mate's. It was quick after that, and I left without a fuss. I'm typing this on my mate's laptop and am in a bad mental way ATM. I am seriously considering calling the whole thing off, both relationship and wedding. I suppose if anyone has been in a similar place I could do with some advice. TLDR, me and fiancé, she asked for open relationship and I am fuming. Update. Hello everyone. I said that I'd post an update, in large part due to the massive response I got yesterday. In many ways, I was only posting to repeat the situation in my head, but I found many great pieces of advice in there and support as well. Thanks to everyone who posted. I spent last night at my mate's, who was absolutely sound about the situation. He basically gave advice that was tantamount to what was given in the comments, to call off the relationship. We had a few drinks, a bit of banter, and this morning I went back to the flat and confronted her. She was there, neither I nor her work on Saturdays, and I set out my stake in as straightforward a manner I could. Basically, I said that I didn't want to continue with the relationship, and that it's better if we call the whole thing off. The wedding details are merely financial, and not too bad to call back. But at this rate we couldn't continue to be together, as we clearly desired different things. She basically expressed what she felt then, that we still had a chance, that it could work, to give sexual freedom a chance. Look, I'm no crazy prude, but this shit just isn't up my alley at all. I basically said that over the weekend I'd be over to collect my things, it's rented flat in a town, no big obligation there. And that she can keep the place if she wants. I'll stay with my friend for a while, get myself sorted after. Towards the end we had a full-blown shouting argument, but I stood my ground and didn't change my course. Not this time, boys and girls. I left, and there is nothing much more to say really. As I type, me and my mate are having a few cans, and my phone has been exploding since 5 o'clock with her friends, her sister calling me a prick and a sexist, for some reason. I'll be grand. Being totally frank, I feel a bit liberated, if that's not too cheesy. The coming days I'll get everything sorted, the moving and that. But as my father used to say, there's always fucking worse.